everybody, it's Christine. It is time for Scraplift Crafternoon. Let me show you the layout here. It is with Scrap with Rachel on Instagram, and looks like she did this for Paper Issues, so she may be on their design team. And it looks like, well, I know she's used the Simple Stories Boho Sunshine because I recognize the patterns. And I do happen to have, I actually bought that collection, but I think I've used pretty much all of it up, except for I did get also a little bit with my Scrap Room Flavors of the Month. So I have that bit to work with. And so that's kind of cool. What I also have, she's got like little stamping going on here. And I do have this little old Stampin' Up, and I kind of like this little butterfly pattern. It's like a little butterfly pattern. So I'm going to use that. And then she has 5 photos. I'm calling that 2x3. So I've got 5 little photos here. This is of me and my family. And then our team at this year's annual conference, the Extravaganza here in San Antonio. And I thought these would be cute because I have these cute little selfies of our family here. And then there's me and my husband and then the team. So I thought that would be really cute. I'll have to do obviously the little thing. She's mounted that on like white cardstock or whatever. But now the only tricky part is she has different embellishments going on. I don't have all of those. So I do have that. And then I went ahead and pulled out this Simple Stories. And she's got hello. So I may use hello on the side here as well. And then she has this little tail here, but I may use something like Capture today. I think I may do that. And then, I don't know if I'm going to use these or not. I do have these little sunglasses, so I might use these. This is from Let's Travel from Cartabella, but the colorway is kind of similar. So I think I might end up using something in here. So let me go ahead and get started on cutting. I'm going to need to mount these guys. And actually this the Flavors of the Month actually comes with 2 pieces of cardstock, which is nice. So I may use, it's technically a cream, but I'm not sad about it. I think it's okay. So I think I may go ahead to basil cardstock. I may go ahead and mount these. And I kind of like it too because the little concrete behind us is a little bit creamy colored. But the neat thing is it does have this little guy here, which is cool. And then I actually even have the yellow, which is nice. So the only thing I don't have exactly is this little piece here and then this little piece here, but I can make those colors are the same. So I can use this little sheet here for those pieces. So I'm kind of excited. So let me get to cutting and I'll be back on in just a moment when I start doing the stamping and stuff. Okay, y'all. So the first thing I'm going to do, well, yeah, I guess it's the first thing. I did trim the main piece of cardstock down first, but the second thing I'm doing here is I'm cutting these strips. They're going to be 3 inches wide. I've decided, okay, that's the right size. And I'm just checking that with those little photo strips there. So I'm going to cut a couple of these that are 3 inches wide. And then I'm going to do the other ones, the yellow, and then the little word paper with the little, rust colored, I guess, on the back side of it. I'm going to cut 3 inches out of each of these. And I don't really leave you on here for this, but I'm going to cut them down to 9 inches. I wasn't sure at first. I kind of had to lay them down there, use my ruler. But I did measure them out at 9 inches. So they're 3 by 9. And I'm just going to cut these little pieces off here. I'll set them aside. They're all kind of going in my scraps because I basically cut into every sheet of paper here. Although I did group them together. I haven't decided how I'm going to store those because I don't have enough of the collection left for it to not be considered scraps, but by the same token, they all go together, so I got to figure that one out. So for the moment, they went back into a baggie over my scrap area. So I'm getting these, like I said, all kind of cut to this 3 by 9, and I'm going to kind of lay my little pictures down here. And the next thing I do, I don't remember now if I leave this in here, but I take a pencil, which it takes me a minute to find my pencil, y'all. I had pulled it out, and then I couldn't find my pencil, but I did find it. It was in the jar with my ruler. So I'm going to take my pencil in a second. I'm going to mark behind where I have these pieces of paper because I'm going to stamp next. And I don't think I told you in the intro, but I am using the Rusty Nail, I think it was, Rusty Nail with the Distress Oxide because it's kind of an orangey color that goes with this collection. So I got my little butterfly stamp. I got my pencil marks. I'm going to kind of go around here. Now, the one thing I struggle with these little stamps sometimes is they are almost square shaped. I mean, they do a pretty decent job on this one, I think, of having the shape be a little more organic. I don't care for those when I make them square. It kind of upsets me. But this one looks a little more organic. So it works out okay. But I use my pencil marks, and then I end up having to do a little extra stamping because I realized after I started putting my papers down, I didn't come out far enough or whatever. But I think this looks really cute, y'all. I kind of love the little butterfly pattern with this collection because there's little butterflies in, obviously in the embellishments and whatnot. So here's what I meant about I'm having to kind of come out a little bit. And I actually even think I come up on the right. I kind of had written that pencil mark, and then I kept having to adjust that right-hand strip there, and I really don't know why. I just kind of felt like I think the middle wasn't correct, and so I kept messing with it and fastening with it, and I had to add a few little stamps to make it look right. Here's me kind of trying to use only the edge of the stamp there. But I do like this little stamp. I think the little butterflies, like I said, they're just adorable. So, and it offers kind of a little sprinkly. You know, she had, I think it was plus signs or something on hers. So mine's a little bit different, but I do like it. And so I'm going to glue these down. What is the next thing I do? I think I glue my pictures down. And then I think I put the title down. And honestly, I kind of messed up putting the title down next. But I'll tell you about why in just a minute. Because I actually noticed a few more details that I did not mention in the intro on her layout. This is one of those layouts that honestly, the more you look, there's more little things that kind of come up and you go, oh, look at that. I didn't notice that. So one thing I noticed is she stamped the date on the left-hand side over there, kind of above the title, or, you know, to the side of the title is kind of like above if you rotate it. But so she stamped the date. So I have a date stamp and I pulled it out, but my title is foam, y'all. And that was tricky to stamp my date. And you'll see me do that in just a minute. Here's where I'm kind of messing and fassing around with these little strips here because I go, my photos need to kind of overlap on that bottom corner. And I don't know, they just needed to do something a little different. And so I kind of fassed around with that for just a second. But otherwise, I think this looks really cute. But that left my pencil mark exposed, so I had to erase it. Okay, so what do I do next? I think this is where I get my title out. Maybe I don't. Maybe I get out my ephemeras. No. Oh, this is where I realized that she had these little X's, but I realized I think they're rub-ons. So she's got a little black detail in the lower right of the one strip, in the upper right of the other strip, and the upper left of the third strip. So I started these are really old Bo Bunny rub-ons, and they're not X's, but they're little strips of stuff. And I started to cut it, and I realized, well, the outside is a frame. I don't want to mess that up because what if I want to use it? So I used my X-Acto knife or whatever to get that out of there, and then I trimmed it. There was like 5 little flowers in the circles or something like that per strip. So I'm going to put these down. I think these turned out really cute, though. I love that little detail. And like I said, I didn't even really notice it until I kind of got into the layout, and I just kind of kept referring back to hers. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's little X's right there, and I think it's rub-ons. So I add my little rub-ons, and again, I'm kind of struck. These are a little old, y'all, and I say little old. They're very old. They work okay, except I slipped. Like I had to reposition it and everything, so it was kind of annoying, but that's okay. So these little, and I actually really like these because the flowers inside the little circles look kind of like the flowers that are in this collection. So I really enjoyed those. I was kind of proud I noticed that, and I think it's a cute little detail there that like I said, I kind of missed it originally. So always look very closely at the layouts for the little details the artist puts on there. Okay, so my next thing here is, I think this might be where I grab my title here. Yep, here's where I'm gonna grab my title, hello. And I pull that off and I stick that to the side. And I'm kind of pleased with this. I love the little colorway with this one. I think it goes really well. Of course, the simple stories as well, so that kind of makes some sense. And this is where I think, I pull out Capture Today. I kind of mentioned to you guys I was going to use that instead of her. Hers was like Trailblazer or something. It looked to me like it was those. Oh shoot! I know I've seen the title. I think it's might be a Doodlebug title letters or sticker letters. But this one I just used the Capture Today. Now, of course, I do not have that little van that she had. So I'm pulling out my ephemeras out to see what I do have. And I do have a couple of rainbows. So I'm going to end up using the butterflies up there. I actually had the exact same yellow butterfly, but I did not have the pink one that she had. So I used that green one. And then down in the lower right, I did not have the little van. So I stick a little rainbow. And here's the yellow butterfly. So I had the same. And I did not have the sun either. So I'm going to use that pink flower up there in the upper right. I'll add a couple more things to that little cluster up there, but here's where I stick that little rainbow in the bottom right. And I actually like this little black title thingy too that says Be the Good. I think that kind of offsets that hello a little bit, and I kind of like that a lot. Let me see, I'm kind of going through. I do have the same, I don't know if I have the same smiley face, but I have a little smiley face, so that worked out. So I'm on that lower left photo down there. I also stuck that other little rainbow down there because she had I think it was a backpack or something, and I didn't have that at all. So let's see, I'm going through and I'm just kind of putting the little flowers. Some of them shift, if I'm honest. I forget to glue some of them down and they kind of shift around and everything. So in the end, they don't end up exactly where you see them right this moment, but they're pretty close. And then I go through and I find little hearts. There's a couple little flowers, foam flowers. I found a foam flower there. I do pull out the ephemera flowers. I do put foam behind some of them. So I end up putting foam behind the pink flower in the upper right, that one in my hand. Right now I'm going to put the little foam lines between on the back side of it. So I'm going to cut away so you don't have to sit there and watch me do that. But I'll put foam behind that. I'll put foam behind the smiley face. I'll put foam behind a couple of the small flowers. And then these little sunglasses, that's the ones I mentioned to you. I did like that, so I'm going to end up having to glue that down, though. They're not quite sticky enough, so they're going to go there. They're not from this collection, but it's the same colors, and I think it looks really cute. So that goes there. And then I'm going to end up in a minute pulling out the enamel dots as well. Again, not from this collection, but in the same. This actually, I put this collection in my July 2023 counterfeit kit club, so it worked out. I still kind of had these little embellishments like on top of my stuff. So I didn't have to search too far in my stash to find things that matched. But I'm just going to take little enamel dots and kind of sprinkle them around. That's kind of what she had done as well. I wouldn't suggest it's like a visual triangle or anything like that. It's just, I'm not really sure what you might describe this as. It's just verticals. I guess vertical columns maybe. But this turned out so cute though. I'm not even going to lie. It's so fun and so like, there's a lot of movement and energy in this. It seems like the last few layouts I've done has been really like that. I say that. I just did a vintage one, so I guess it wasn't quite as energetic or whatever. But there's that little flower. I almost forgot to glue him down. He moved around, see. Actually, the funny thing is I don't think I've even glued that little heart down. I may even take pictures. I'm not sure where it's going to end up. And then I realized after I've taken all my pictures, the darn heart wasn't glued down. Now, here's where I realized, oh, she had a date stamped over there, right? So I have this date stamp, but I had glued that stuff down. So I tried to stamp it, and I ended up having to move it and get it on the other side. It was just crazy, y'all, but it ended up working, and I don't hate it. I think it looks kind of cute, actually. So now I actually glue all this down. Thankfully, I hadn't glued it down too hard because I don't know how I would have got my date stamp over there. That thing it has to be flat to the paper, and that foam title was messing me up. And that is all I'm going to do this layout, y'all. I'm really proud. I think this is a pretty good scrap lift of the original because I got the collection and everything. I'm really happy with this one. It's fun, it's cute, and it definitely gives me the same joy and energy as the event did. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the playlist. We always have all the hoppers on the playlist, links and all the good stuff below. There should be a link to the Instagram for the OG on there. And we will see you next time. Thanks so much. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. All right, bye.